I am going to share today how I have discovered and used the Endless Canvas app. Also can show up on your, once you've downloaded it, it may show up with the title Infinite Zoom. I found that a little tricky when I first loaded. The first app I ever loaded was actually Endless Paper. And Endless Paper didn't have quite the same smooth movement as Endless Canvas. So I switched over to Endless Canvas. And it could have been user error, but I felt like Endless Canvas had a little bit more going on. They both have very, very, very simple tools, really simple tools. And so you can't really get too confused on the tools because they don't give you many options. That's the downside. But I'm going to try and show you a few things right off the get-go. First, I'm going to show you the purpose of using this kind of an app is that you can zoom in endlessly, seemingly endlessly. I don't know if you would ever come to the end. I don't think so, because I think what it is the app has a calculation. The program has a calculation in the back that adjusts the zoom, that adjusts the tools for the more that you zoom in. Because I'll notice, and I'll show this to you later. So this part of the sketch I'm just starting to develop. And you'll notice I just keep going in, and I come up with another idea that I want to draw in here. And as you zoom in on that drawing, you get finally to my notes where I haven't developed anything, but the idea is, what should I draw? I think I'll sleep on it. I was quite tired last night when I finally gave up the ghost and went to bed. And so this app is really kind of, I find it the most relaxing of all the drawing apps that sorry, it's getting stuck, that I use, because the tools are limited. It's simple. All you're doing is it's like drawing with a magic marker. It really is. The whole time you use it, you don't have a lot of options of what you can do. And so I'm just going to demonstrate some of the tools, and I'm going to also show you this morning some other infinite zooms that I've created on my YouTube channel, that to give you an idea of how you can use infinite zoom with your own artwork, your own ideas. This was evidently developed by someone. I think it was developed by a teacher who wanted to have note paper that just folks could take notes on, and then you could go and do a little side thing. You could think, oh, your body's your portals, the thought you have, you write that note down, and then if you wanted to elaborate on that, you're elaborating on that, and then you're going farther and thinking more about that, and then you can zoom in over here, and pretty soon, eventually, you know, you have to know where you are on the paper, but that's why they give you this possibility. So here's the origin of where I started. This is where I started my painting. This is the last thing that I worked on. And then you can add, oops, I went to the wrong one. So this is the save spots. And then here's the global view. Interesting. What is that? Okay, the global view was really, really big. And then we have the, so the origin, last painted, global view. And then I could do this. I'll just show you. Let me go in here into the portal. And let's just name this spot right here. I'm going to go to my saved. I'm going to add a custom bookmark. So this would be good if you're taking notes and you're going all over the place. I want to change the name of that, rename, and we're just going to name this horse spirit. Why not? Okay, so I'm renaming that. So now I can be anywhere and I can go to horse spirit and it's going to bring me right to that drawing. So another thing that I could do, and I was thinking about this, I needed last night when I was tired, I was thinking, oh, I've got to, I don't know, I don't want to forget these ideas, but I'm too tired to develop them. And so I went in here and I started writing notes. So this drawing I might develop more. And then I developed, or I'm sorry, developed. I didn't develop these notes, and I put them right where. One of the problems with this program is you can't like snag all this, copy and paste it somewhere. I put it in a in where I want to actually draw. So now I'm going to have to erase my notes in order to draw here. I should have gone in here, moved over. I should have gone over like, let's see, I should have gone all the way in here, gone really, really big, moved over to the edge, and written all my notes and then put a bookmark. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. So I could do that here. I could go notes. Can you see down in the corner? Let me make that a bigger notes, and I'll add a bookmark, and I'm going to rename that notes. And so now I can, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to origin. There we go, going to origin. And it brings me back out to my top layer. So, okay, what else can I show you on this program? I could just sit here and draw for you, but I'll do that later. Right now, what I'm going to do is show you a little bit more of what's sort of unique about this program. And I think I'll go over here because I'm gonna probably do stuff to mess up my drawing. And I kind of like this drawing. I'm gonna turn this drawing into a video. And the way that I'm going to do that is they give you the option when you hit the download here. You can export as an image. You can record a video. And when you click on record a video, you have two options. You can record your art, which I believe is a time lapse of what I've done, or record how you draw. No, let's see. Let me switch that. Record your art is actually you zooming in, and it's making a recording of your art. And then record how you draw, I think, is a time lapse of all the drawing that you've done. And I'll hit that one at the very end, but I don't want to freeze the program up while we're watching here. But I'll hit that one at the end just to show you my whole process, because I made lots of mistakes and did lots of erasing. But it usually, with time lapses on these drawing programs, they will usually take like 2 hours worth of drawing and condense it down into 3 minutes. And so I'm gonna hit cancel on that. Okay, so I haven't really gone through the tools and shown you what I think this program is doing. So right here is a pencil tool. Here is the pencil at the largest size I can do right here. And then here it is, you see it gets smaller. So I'm gonna go with the largest size I can do right here. And I'm gonna draw a square. And then I'm gonna zoom out and I'm going to draw an X in that square. Oh my goodness, what happened? It completely got huge, and I didn't ask it to change size. And so what that is that is the program adjusting the vector size automatically based on you zooming in and out. And it's a little bit different than other drawing programs. It's a lot different than other drawing programs. Usually the vector size will hold steady as you zoom in and out. Um, in this program, the whole point of it is to zoom in and out like crazy. And you would have to change your tools a million times to zoom in and out and draw. And so they do it for you. And so you just have to get used to how the program works. And it's really hard to explain. I actually just say try it and you'll start to figure it out. It's pretty intuitive. Okay, so you can have a few different pencils set up. So you could have your smallest ones set up automatically, and you have your biggest ones set up over here. Um, the pressure feature down here only works on devices that support it. I have an iPad and it does not actually support it, which is makes me sad because normally with the pressure feature, when you press on this, it'll change size. If I press a little or press, it'll get bigger. The line gets wider or thinner. So I'm imagining that maybe if you use an Android and not an Apple product, possibly it'll work better. So that's an advantage if you're not an Apple user. But I didn't let that stop me from using this program. Um, Picasso once, there's a quote from Picasso who I think it's stolen from someone else. Like, I don't know, these quotes, we think they're from a certain famous person, but they actually heard another famous person. Anyway, this one I think goes way back in time. Oh my gosh, I'm looking out the window. It's snowing here. Um, so what Picasso said, or someone before him said, you find freedom under restriction. In other words, when you have endless possibilities, which is kind of hilarious because this is an endless canvas and I do have endless possibilities. But when you have so many options, sometimes it can get in your way. And when you have limited options, you're forced to just work with the very basics and let go of all the options. And so I would say that I have demonstrated that, you know, it's fine. You don't have to have pressure. You don't have to have fancy brushes. You can just have something that looks like a magic marker. And so here, let me just demonstrate, like, for instance, if we were to go with a smaller line and we were to draw an apple here, and it had a little worm peeking out of a hole. Oh, see how my line just adjusted there? Let's go back to my big line. And we'll put a little smile on him. And then we're going to put a little white spot in his. Let me erase that. I'm going to erase, like, we have the reflection of the sun or the lamp going on in his eye. And that, I often use this as a window to the next drawing, which is going to be in here, and it's going to be the sun coming up over the hills. And there's a little man or person pushing a cart up the hill. And this person has an entire story that they want to tell us. And again, we'll go into their world and we'll tell more stories. So that's how you do it. It's so simple. And I used one tool. I switched a little bit back and forth. And then, of course, you can, let's see, what did I do? Oh, yeah, that's inside of an eye. That's inside of a worm, which is an apple inside of a square. And that's where I started, which was right up here. And so I could open up my canvas and go, oh my gosh, where did I leave that demo? So I could probably go right here and do one more bookmark, add a bookmark, custom bookmark right there. Oops, rename it. And I wonder, it seems to me I had another bookmark named Spirit Horse. So I wonder if I might have, I'm going to call this, I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble. Demo, we'll call it Demo 1. Rename. Okay. So what happened to my Spirit Horse? So we have Demo 1 there, and then we went in here to this drawing, and I had thought that I put a bookmark right here that said Spirit Horse. So maybe they limit us. Oh, they do. No, there's Horse Spirit right there. There's Demo 1, there's notes. Perfect. Okay, I just needed to. Oh gosh, I love being so simple sometimes. Right in front of a whole bunch of people. Because we all make silly mistakes like that. And I just do them on live broadcasts all the time. Okay, so that's basically the save. Here's one more, which is layer. So I kind of made a mistake when I first started drawing. I got so into just the black and white thing that I forgot, and I'm going to test it right now. I forgot to be smart about my layers. And one of the things that I could do after I've drawn this whole black and white intricate drawing is if I have a layer behind this, I could take a big old fat gray marker. I could go here and ask for gray, and I can make a big fat gray marker. And I could just color in, but I could color in behind all the black lines. And I didn't set my layer up properly. And I'm wondering if I were to go like this, can I move that? Oh, no. Can I move this one up? So let me add another layer. It doesn't let me move. Darn. Yeah, I didn't set it up right, because normally what I would do is I would draw the rocks, whoops. Let me go to my black line. I would go to an upper layer. I would draw a couple rocks like this. Okay, so now we've got some rocks, a rock wall that I have in that other drawing. And then I would go to my layers and I would go to my background, and then I would choose, well, let's make the rocks red. And I would just go like this. See how I can just go all over the place and it stays behind the black line. It doesn't go on top of it. There is an eraser here also, which has the same idea of different widths. So that I can go in here and erase that part that I didn't mean to draw. So I kind of messed up a little bit on my drawing by not setting my layers up right. That's okay. It just because I was just relaxing when I drew it and it turned into this really good drawing. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just go on tomorrow morning and I'll do a live and I'll use this as my demo of what's possible. Um, so right now, I would love to go with a gray and go all behind that. And I can't because when I'm over here, I'm not, I'm on the very back layer. This says background. I'm on the very back layer. And so everything that I'm doing here is going to go on top of it. So I'll just show you really quick. I've still got my red marker. See what happens? I'm going on top of the drawing here, not underneath it, which is super unfortunate, but it's okay. I make mistakes all the time. I spent a lot of time on this drawing, so this may end up being just a black and white drawing at this level. Now, when I go in here, let's see if I changed it in here. What layer are we on when we're at this level? We're still on the background. Are we on the background? Yeah, we're on the background. That shows her. And then I went into the portal. I don't know that I ever changed the sketch or the layer as I moved in. Yep, that one's on the background. These are all on the background layer. I never changed layers last night. So, but you can change layers when you're in here. Like I didn't go very far on this drawing. So I would be totally willing to start again by going over the top of it. I can just switch layers right here. And let's say I want to make the outline of the leaf green. So let's do that. Let's just make the outline of the leaf green. And I'm going to go to a thinner line. Oh, and then there's a back button here. Back. I can just stop doing what I was doing, go back, start over. Let's just say I want to retrace it. And I will show you how I'm going to hit the back button on this, by the way, because I like this drawing. I don't know exactly if I'm going to. So another thing you can do is, so right now, so I'm on layer 2 and you probably can't see it, but there's a little green, 3 little green leaf outlines right there that I just drew. And so now I'm going to go to the background layer and I'm going to grab my eraser, which is right here, my eraser, and I'm going to erase the black lines. I just erased all of my notes. Everything that I did below that, I just erased. And thank goodness for the back button. But anyway, now you're starting to see what happens with the layers. So I didn't erase my green. I just erased the black that I had originally put there. And then let's say, oh gosh, all my drawing was in there. I forgot. Let me hit the back button. I want that back. Oh, let's bring the black back. It's back. Let's get rid of the green. And I'm just hitting the back button and there you have it. So, what else can I show you about this? There is, okay, so we've gone over the different brushes, which are very limited. Basically, you're just changing sizes up there. We've gone over layers. We've gone over the eraser. We've gone over how to save different points in your drawing so that you can find them again. There's that notes I did down in the corner. There's that demo with the apple. There's that horse spirit. And then we can go to these original ones that the program gives you is Where did I start? That's where I started. I started by doing a fashion drawing. I didn't know what I was going to draw last night. And I was listening to this podcast, the Journey On podcast, hosted by Warwick Schiller. He's a horse trainer, but he has morphed his podcast into being this spiritual quest, this spiritual journey of self discovery, looking into consciousness. It's just, I love his podcast. I started with him because I was having trouble with my horse, and he was an online trainer who would give you advice. And I generally worked with local people with my horse, but he had some really good insight, and so I used to listen to different things. And I actually ended up we were demo horse and rider at one of his at a Western Washington Horse Expo, which is a hilarious story all in and of itself, because my horse and I are both very anxious. That's our problem. And we went in front of this huge crowd. It's a hilarious story. I won't go into it right now. Anyway, I'm listening to this podcast last night while I'm drawing, thinking, oh, I'm going to draw a fashion drawing, because the drawing that I have done on my tiny little channel that has gotten me the most watch hours was a live drawing that I did, and the title in it was fashion, and it was fashion something, and it was just kind of a crazy drawing of a woman, and she had kind of a cyberpunk look to her. It was very colorful, and I just was drawing for 3 hours online, and I ended up with like over 2,000 watch hours from that one little drawing. And so I thought, I need some more watch hours. Let me do another fashion drawing. So I started practicing a fashion drawing last night and came up with this gal. And but because I was listening to that podcast, if you the theme of this obviously is not fashion. It completely colored my entire drawing, my black and white drawing, with a flavor of discovery about consciousness. And so that's where this drawing ended up. And I actually totally love it, because I'm very interested in that kind of stuff. And an endless zoom drawing is perfect for that. Another thing that I thought, so if I have any artists out there, or if I have any storytellers out there in the crowd, what I want to say about this program, which is called Endless Canvas, also Infinite Zoom. Let me show you the icon. So here is I'm going to zoom in here to no, I can't. Let me do it this way. So their app's a little confusing. This is the icon right here, and it's kind of a swirly with some lines going through it. Sorry, that wasn't super great. I'm going to go back to the app, go back to the drawing. Anyway, if I go here to the home button, and I go to, this is what it's called here, Endless Canvas. And you might be able to see that icon a little bit better. So when you're looking for the app in your app store, you probably will look for Endless Canvas. But sometimes you will find that it's called Infinite Zoom when you're zooming around in here trying to find information. I was trying to find information, and now Endless Canvas is showing up. This one is Endless Canvas version 1.4.1, but also there was an Infinite Zoom word showing up. So that was a little confusing. Anyway, so I wanted to get straight about what we're doing here, which app, because that's the biggest question whenever I put these online. I got a little lost there. What I wanted to say is, if you are an artist or a storyteller, this app is amazing for mysteries, for storytelling. If you think about a children's book usually is about 20, it's like 25 to 30 pages, somewhere in there, usually in increments of 4, because that's based on printer stuff. Anyway, with this, if you do a digital story, you could do 28 drawings and just keep zooming in. In fact, I plan on doing that for children's stories because I think it will be a great way to tell a story, is just to keep zooming into the next page of the story. It's just like turning pages, but it's such a cool way to do it because you're just zooming and zooming. So I think it's a great way to tell a children's story, and I'm going to do that soon. I think it's a wonderful way, if you have a mystery. I think it adds a sense of mystery as you're drawing, or as you're zooming in. It adds some mystery. Or if you're trying to express complicated things that I don't know if it has to do with academics or it has to just do with your own ideas. Having these bookmarks where you can go in and you can dive into an idea here, and then you get lost and you're like, I'm not going to think about that. Let's go over and think about this. And you can just press on your bookmark and you can go to the exact next place in your drawing that you want to talk about, or your notes. So mysteries, children's books, just stories that have self-help, I think could do wonders with this app, because it's self-help is about being introspective and looking deeper into oneself. And I think that this could be such an amazing tool to express that. I am so sorry I have not stopped for comments, and I usually do, and I've got a lot of them here. So thank you that it is cool. Thank you. It's a beautiful program. You could put your notes on a separate layer, Zach. Absolutely. I have to erase them and redraw them, though. They don't have a copy paste, which is unfortunate. Someone wants me to draw a fox. That's a great idea. And the app's name is Endless Paper. And I am so sorry that I didn't get to these comments earlier. One of my problems is hyperfocus, and I got hyperfocused on my demo and forgot about everybody in the audience. So I apologize. So I'm gonna just go over and show you some success I've had on YouTube. Now, I'm running the risk that YouTube is going to flag this video with what do they call it? A copyright, because I'm going to play my YouTubes that have been pretty successful, my shorts, using this program. And when I hit play, which I think
Hello, what's wrong? Nothing. No, it's stupid. You wouldn't really.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
Well, it's just that blue-eyed people get all the good compliments, and I have brown eyes. I don't really get any. Your eyes are like dirt. Hold on. I mean that as a compliment, because dirt's the source of food and life in every single continent. They sparkle like topaz. The stars could never parallel. They look so sweet, like coffee filled with caramel. It's pretty sweet. And like the autumn leaves that fall from all the trees, the colors in your eyes aren't as loved as they ought to be. The warmth inside of them matches the heart inside of me. It's like it's meant to be. Huh.
So that's an example of.
Hello.
Oh,
what's wrong?
stop! Please stop.
Nothing.
Stop. That's an example of what I've been doing on YouTube with this. I have now done. I'm gonna go and look at my content maybe by going here. I have done shorts with this. I don't think I've done a long video with this. This one I've got 10,000 views on, which I'm quite proud of, because I'm a small content creator. I have not built up my audience yet. I would love some subscriptions from this, by the way. I'm trying to get to 1,000 viewers, and I'm only at like 750 or 850, something like that. What am I at? 846. So I got one more subscriber today from doing this live. I asked a marketing fella who my company uses, not this company. This is just me, by the way. I'm a small content creator. I can't afford any help. But I asked for the company that I work for in the daytime, which is A1 Design Build. I asked the marketing fella, I'm like, how do you get more people following you? How do you get to subscribers? And he said, it's one subscriber at a time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know that one. It takes a long time to get 1,000 subscribers, one subscriber at a time. It takes a crazy long amount of time. Sometimes you hit it though, and you get people, they'll have a video that just kind of goes viral because they have all the things. They have a hook in the first 3 seconds to 5 seconds that draws people in. They keep them hooked through the whole thing. It's an interesting video, whether it's a short or a long, it's interesting and it keeps people there. And people are like, oh, I really like this. I want to come back and find out more from this person. And so you get a subscriber that way. So I would love it if I got some subscribers from this one. So that was just sort of a demo of how, and I might get flagged by YouTube for copyright, but it was a YouTube video I created from a YouTube content creator that was sharing their, that guy's name, by the way, is Nathan Apollo or something like that. If you go on the shorts and you just Google, like, or you search I ballad, you'll find him. It's like Nathan Apollo, and he just was advertising that he's doing a mini tour. So he's going to 3 cities in the United States, and he's looking for people to buy tickets from him. So a little shout out to him. And then I want to give a shout out to a fashion designer. When I started looking at fashion online last night, I'm like, what's happening with fashion? And I went, Paris 2024 fashion. I came up with these images of the clothing. I don't even remember what the clothing was, but what really got my attention was that the fashion designer who put together his models and got them all ready took their hair, and it looked like it was wet. They had very short haircuts, or tied back hair rather, with long strands that looked wet and stuck to their face everywhere. And they all had it. All of his models had this, so it was purposeful. And then what I didn't draw here was that fashion designer, the way that he did it was he put a hairnet completely over their face, and it held their hair right down to their skin. And it was just the most bizarre look. And I regret that I did not get that fashion designer's name. But if you go Paris 2024 and you start looking at what comes up on your feed and you see the person, all the models with the hair stuck to their face, that's where I got this idea. I was looking at fashion. And you'll see when you zoom in, you'll see there's actually hairnet across their face. Hit the undo, Maggie. You don't want those to stay. So, okay, I want to say that I really appreciate all the people who have stopped by. I would love it if oh, Zach, great. The app name is Endless Canvas. Sometimes if you can't find it under Endless Canvas, look for Infinite Zoom, but it's Endless Canvas. Thanks for the compliment. And I think that now, oh, I haven't gone down here. So let's see, what is it that I don't know about this program? I know what the eyedropper is. So let's say you're drawing. I'm going to go out here to let's go to my bookmark. Let's go to the demo right here. And I want to draw an apple. Whoa, change the color. I want to color in an apple here with red. I'm going to make that the big thick. Well, that's more of a pink, isn't it? But that's okay. I'm just going to go like this and quickly color this in. This is more like a pink lady apple. We still have our happy little worm looking out there. He's happy because he's got plenty to eat. This is a big apple. And we'll put a little green stem on here. This is pretty sloppy. As you can see, my demo is a little sloppy. I'm not getting really picky. I could get really picky though, and I could go to a much smaller line and make this stem make sense with the apple. And make the edges less jagged, more smooth by using a smaller pencil. It's almost a little too small though. I'm going to bring it up just a little. Okay, what I wanted to show you was the eyedropper. So let me go here and put another, oops. Let me put another shade of green here. And I'm going to go with another shade right there. Okay, so when you have a drawing that you've been working on for a while, and let's say I've just got four different colors here plus black, and you're way far away, you're over here in this corner and you're like, wait a minute. Oh, that's the wrong green. How do I get back to the right green? Sometimes after you've been drawing a while and you press here, you can't figure out which green. I want that green. Is it this green or is it this green? And so rather than tapping on it and then testing it and finding out it's wrong and then coming back and going, oh no, it's that green, or it's actually that green right there, by testing over and over again, you can just go like this and grab your eyedropper. It's this little eyedropper icon here. This is the eyedropper. You move it until you get the green that you really want. There, I've got that green that I want right there, and it shows up right here. So now I can tap on that, and I've got the green that I want right there. Same thing here. Oh, I actually wanted the pink for the pink lady sign. So there I've got the pink. It's a quick way to get to your colors. It is the eyedropper tool. Then if you want to look in here, they do actually have some pretty cool things for colors. They have palettes, and I like the Derma palette. It's like all the skin tones you could possibly want are in here. I mean, there's some variations on this, of course, but look at how many skin tones they have, from the darkest obsidian to a chocolate brown, and then up we go all the way to just an alabaster here. So I've used the Derma a lot on my different drawings. Then Fiesta is like perfect for me because I love bright colors. So in most of my videos, it's very rare that I do a black and white like I'm doing today. And then here's just a basic mix. And I haven't worked a whole lot with different palettes in here because I've only been using this app for a couple weeks. But it looks like there's a plus here. So what does that do? Enter the name. Come up with a name for a new palette. Oh, okay. So let's call this palette delete my demo palette. I'm going to call it a demo palette and I'm going to create that palette. It's now empty. So I might add, I'm going to hit the plus. Oh, what did it do? It just added a brown. Why? Why did it add a brown? I didn't ask for a brown. I didn't have brown selected. Maybe I had brown selected. Let me go here. Let's put this purple plus. Ah, that's what it is. I must have tapped the brown down here when I was showing you the derma and I had brown selected. And so I could go up to I could do my eyedropper and do that color and then go to my palette. Whoops, where's my palette? Sorry, got lost for a minute here. I could go to my palette. I've got that hot pink picked and I'll hit plus. There I've added my hot pink to that palette. So you can create a palette that way. And I wonder, yeah, I haven't figured out how to add a photograph. I don't think it's possible this program won't let you add a photograph. Because in other programs, you can add a photograph and you can create palettes based on a photograph or another drawing, a photograph of another drawing, let's say that you've done and you really like the palette, you want to repeat that palette. So that's sort of something I haven't solved in this program. Okay, let's go back to the color options. So another way that you can do this is just you can use the slider to adjust. Watch this color up here in the corner. I'm going to make it really dark into a dark blue, or let's make it more orange. You can just adjust a little bit. That's another way to get to your colors. Here's a classic slider, and then you would move this and this and this and this. That's how you move around in a classic slider. And then here's the disc, which is actually, this is very similar to the color disc that they have on Adobe Fresco, which is a program that I've used a lot, and I've done a ton of demos with it. So it's kind of nice to have that same kind of a tool. So that's sort of an overview of the colors. And then here's the eyedropper. And then before we go all the way down into this, I just want to let people know who've joined me just lately that this is the Endless Canvas program. And it allows you to do infinite zooms. As you can see, I've got infinite zooms. It uses vector lines only. There's no pixel drawing in this. So a vector line is something that is scalable, and it's a great app for taking notes or telling stories. And so that's it. And then I'm going to use my bookmarks here to go back to my origin, which was where I started my drawing, right here with this gal, my fashion drawing. Haha, sure doesn't look like a fashion drawing now. Okay, so just to catch people up who've joined late, that's the program we're working in, is this endless zoom. And then I'm going to go, home takes me out to all my other drawings. As you can see, I showed you a demo of how I turned this into a YouTube with the eye color ballad. And this was the blue color. I'm lost. I don't remember. Oh, there's the waves. There's the ocean waves. So that's where the bookmarks come in really handy. And I probably should do bookmarks on these drawings, on all my drawings, because when you go away from a drawing for months and you come back in, Can you imagine if you can't remember where you put the next part of your zoom, having to look around on your whole entire huge drawing to find where that zoom is? So the bookmarks really help with that. And on this guy, I think I went in on his little eye. I did. And we got into the soul, and I think we go into her eye, their eye, and give everybody the message that everybody should hear. You are amazing. So I'm going to use my bookmarks here to go back to the origin. This is where my drawing started. I tend to start on the first page and work in. I go in. You don't have to. You could start here, draw this, and go out. And now this becomes part of this much bigger drawing, and you can go out again and draw something. But some people might work better that way, going from the small out to the big. Okay, what else can I show you on here? So home button. I don't actually know what this button does. The pound button. Oh yeah. So if you want to have a background grid, you can. For instance, let's put the stars. The problem with it is it's not actually a background. It's in the foreground. And I wonder if that's because of the layer I'm on. So that's a good question. Let me hit undo. Oh no, I can't do undo. I have to uncheck that. Oh, that's what I do. I have tried this before. So there's a little eyeball here and you make it invisible. So that one, I did the stars. I was on the background layer, and yet it put it on top. So, oh, that's interesting. So you could have, if you didn't draw on your background, you could put a grid on your background and draw on your layers above it, and then maybe turn the grid off when you're done. So if you needed a grid or wanted a grid, you could do that. So that's what that is. That's the grid. And then this one is if you don't have a stylus and every time you want to draw with your finger, you can tell it to draw with your finger, or you can tell it to move with your finger. And I have switched back and forth sometimes with this because when you click on move with your finger, it makes it easier when you are creating a video. And so we'll get to that in a minute. So that would be what that is. And then this download is exported as an image, record a video, or export file. Export file. Oh, I can export the whole thing. I've never done that. So I've heard other people do that, and they make them available so that people can zoom around in the drawing themselves. Like I could download this file, put it on I'll probably do it with my demo. I could download the file, put it on, I'll see if I can put it on my YouTube page in the community tab. So you have to subscribe, and you go in there and you'll find shorts, videos, you'll find all the categories, playlists, and you'll also find a community page on most anyone you follow. And in there are stills. It's basically like, it's almost like a Facebook wall. You can post things in there. I see some comments. Let me check here. What's the app called? I joined late. It's called Endless Canvas. Sorry, I see the comment. Question. Let me go here. Endless Canvas. It's got a lot of squiggly blue, purple, and white colors to the icon when you're looking for it in your app store. I'm working on an iPad, And it's actually a little bit more limited. I bet if you're on an Android, or say you're on a Wacom tablet through your computer, you might be able to find that the pressure sensitivity works better. You're welcome, Stitch. Stitch Switch. Um, you might find that your pressure sensitivity works better if you're not on an Apple product, but don't let that stop you. I only have, for my drawing, I only use my iPad and an Apple Pencil. And I hope that I am demonstrating you can do a lot with limited tools. Like I can't get the beautiful thick, thin line. Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to do like a call out, a request to Endless Canvas. Please make it so that artists who use iPads can have that thick, thin line, that pressure sensitive touch. So far, um, or maybe that request should go to the Apple iPad people, that their app is easier for app makers to use the tools that the hard pencil offers. Okay, where am I? I have gone through the home, the download button. Okay, so what I haven't done, and I said I was going to do this, I think I've gone through a lot of demo here. Record video. So record your art is going to actually, I'll show you what it's going to do there. Record your art. So allow screen recording in infinite zoom. Record screen. It's recording my screen. So as I zoom in here, I am going to try and be very smooth because it's filming it. I'm also going to pause where I want to create focus. And I want to create focus on this beautiful lady. And then I'm going to move in to, it's not going to record my hand, by the way. It's just recording my screen. I'm going to move in here to your inner spirit horse, because I'm an equestrian lover. So I'm an equine lover. I'm an equestrian. And my unfinished drawing here, and we'll zoom in even more here to my final notes. What should I draw? I think I'll sleep on it. So that's going to be the end. How do I get it to stop? Stop. So now this has recorded everything I just did. So let's look at it. How does it look? Is it going to play? Yes. Look at that. Yay. So easy. They make it so easy. You've got to get this app. It's called Endless Canvas. If you're an artist or a storyteller, you've got to get this app. And right now, I have a full-time job, but I'm going to retire in a few years. And when I retire, I'm going to start illustrating for other people. Right now, I manage a design department for a design build company, and this is my fun stuff. This is what I do in the evening. This is how I'm planning for my retirement part-time job, is to have a YouTube channel and build up a following, maybe on Facebook too. Anyway, I'm working on that. That's my thing. But if you are working as an artist right now and you build this skill, this could be very marketable, I think. If you learn how to do it, make it smooth, combine it with your any film editing. There's another very simple to use application called Filmmaker Pro. That's where I do all of my editing. There's other apps that are, I think, I'm not going to say better, they're different, that I've also used lately. Let me think, what is the name of the one I used lately? I've used it's kind of like CapCut. I've tried CapCut, and I think CapCut's a pretty amazing editing program. Oh, save. Um, but it's the one that I've used is free with Microsoft, our Microsoft suite at work, and it's called, what's it called? It'll come to me. It's a Microsoft, and it's almost exactly like CapCut. Good editing program. So it's Clipchamp. Clipchamp and CapCut are very similar, both good editing programs. Okay, so I want to show you one other thing is record video. So I showed you record your art, record how you draw. Oh, what did it do? Save. I don't know if it did anything. Download complete. I don't know if it did anything. Let's look here. Let's look at my which direction here? Yeah, it didn't do the time lapse like I thought it was gonna. So that was misleading. Okay, so I don't really understand like record how you draw. I guess it's basically like a live screen record. 2 seconds, play. What did it do? Yeah. So it recorded as I drew, and that's fine. That's how you would get a time lapse, I guess. I'm not really super excited about that possibility. I prefer the other which is record your art and you move through your art. I think that's a really good tool that they have on this menu. And so that covers it for the tools that this, let me go and put this on a prettier picture because I'm talking and people are coming by on YouTube and wondering, why am I going to look at a bunch of ugly notes on a screen? So I'll change that to, you have the key. And so I think that I am going to be coming to the end here pretty soon. I want to thank everybody for the thumbs up that they've given me along the way. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm not on my, look at that pixel. See the pixels? That's telling me I'm not in my endless zoom. I'm on a photograph. So I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to go back to my endless zoom here. And I'm going to go out to my spirit horse. And then I'm going to go out the portal to the necklace on the fashion model, who is showing you that your body is the portal to the universe. You have the key. So that is, that's basically, I think, where I want to leave it. I am going to be back on here maybe next week, because next Saturday, early in the morning like this, because I think there is a lot of interest in the Infinite Zoom program, or it's Endless Canvas program. There's also a program called Endless Paper. I believe it's the same company. I think that the tools are slightly different, not a whole lot different. They're very similar. And then another way, and a much more complicated way to achieve the endless Zoom storytelling is to use an Adobe product called After Effects. Yeah, After Effects by Adobe. It does not have this, it doesn't work like this at all. But if let's say you've got video and photographs and you want to zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, you can create a bunch of layers, and then you can create little windows that you can zoom into in your videos and your photographs. And I have not mastered that program. I have spent many evenings trying to master that program so that I can do a demo to show people how it works, or I could produce some stuff, and I'm not there yet. It's almost like more of a pro thing. It's so complicated. Um, I think that eventually I will be able to figure out how to do the endless zoom with that, because I really want to be able to do it because I do videos. I like to make videos. And using this application to do all my drawing for my video isn't it isn't sustainable. I will wear out drawing like with a single pencil line or a magic marker line is going to wear me out over time. As they don't have a bucket fill on here. So it'd be great if Endless Canvas would come up with a bucket fill. I imagine though that like with bucket fill, one of the problems is you can crash your program really easy if you don't have your bucket contained. So I wonder if that's why they've done it, so they don't have to deal with all the crashes from the bucket fill. So anyway, maybe they can get more popular, get more people using it, and they'll expand their tools. So I want to say Endless Canvas is the way to go. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to keep going with Endless Canvas over time and do more lessons. As I discover more things about it, I will definitely share it. That's all I do on YouTube is share what I learn with drawing. I don't promote any products, or not that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have any sponsorships. I'm just an artist who is working online, discovering fun stuff, and sharing it with you. I hope if I do nothing else with my YouTube channel, if I inspire people to tell stories, to illustrate stories, to draw for fun, to hone their skills, that will make me happy. That's my goal, is to help people. So I'm going to say goodbye for today. Thank you everybody for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate the thumbs up. I love the subscribers. I'm trying to grow my channel, so please check in, and I will I'll share more with you as I learn more. If you follow me, you will see me pop up on your screen again. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.